Well, hello to my beautiful friends out there. I hope everybody's having a super great day. Happy Tuesday. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all so much. I am so proud to have you all here with us today. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get started. We had someone in chat come in, and Scarlet Begonias said May 26th, not February 25th. Yes, yes. Anyways, correction on my thumbnail 100%. Oh, guys, it's crazy days. But yes, thank you for that correction, Scarlett. Maritza, hello. Bo, hello to you. Hi, Kathy Gordon. Hi, Rhonda. Sharon, hello from Georgia. Pink Warrior, Chit Chat. Hey, TJ. West End, Show Poodles. Hello. Hi, Sharon. Let's see, Teresa, Cinderella. Miss Charlene's in the house, and Bridget. Hello to y'all. Hi, Lori. Let's see, anybody else sneak in? There's Miss Caroline Miller. Hello to everybody. And Tina Davis is in the house. Hello, Brown Eyed Girls. Hi, Tugs on the Heartstring. Hello to y'all. Let's see. Elaine, hey there. Hello. Marina Girl. Sky Maiden. Tap Dancer Lizzie. There's Bobby. Closer to you. Hello to you. Hi, Marcy. Let's see. Anybody else sneak in? All righty. I think we got it all. If I missed you, I apologize. Hello to you all. Everyone in the bushes just listening. Thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you as well. So, guys, we're going to do some talking today about Sebastian Rogers. I know the last few times have been a little bit of drama filled, but we are back on Sebastian and Sebastian only. So here we go. Hey, Lolo, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you all. Okay. So before we get started talking about what Sebastian Seen after he left Texas Roadhouse, I have something I want to play for you guys. Do you all recall that supposedly, allegedly, Sebastian is the one who took out the trash after they got home from Texas Roadhouse? It was awful dark. The person was wearing all black, had a hoodie on. Yes, reality. I did. I got a tiny clip of that I'm fixing to play, only because it pertains to what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so they get home from Texas Roadhouse. Sebastian takes out the trash, allegedly. There's been lots of questions about that because, according to what Seth tells us, it was very dark. You could see someone taking out the trash. They were all in dark colored clothing with a hoodie on. Katie said it was very obvious that it was Sebastian by the way he walked. Correct? Does everybody remember that? Because I do. I remember her saying it's been confirmed because of the way he walked. Well, let me just share something with you real quick here, okay? Because I think everybody needs to hear this. Listen close. The first part, I went ahead a little bit just so you can get the gist of what they're kind of talking about and everything. But listen here. This is Mr. Chris on Granny's Watching's channel. And let me just put up, just to be cautious, a little copyright. We're going to use this to critique because we got some critiquing to do, friends. Here we go. I just want y'all to listen really close.
With Sebastian, and that's all we can do is just remember that this is about Sebastian. He is still out there. These are the ways you can look for him, and to stop prejudging with the autism. We've heard enough from all the parents at this point to stop labeling Sebastian as the missing autistic teenager and just look for an average child.
Yeah, I mean, it's take away all of the, I call the fluff. Take all the fluff away from the situation. You're looking for a child that's 5'5", about 115 pounds, got glasses on, dirty blonde hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing black pants, black long sleeve shirt, not a sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, and may or may not have shoes. Has glasses on, quirky smile, freckles on his neck, pigeon chested. That's what you're looking for. Look for that. Don't look for anything else. That's what you're looking for.
He's got a beautiful smile.
And I asked.
Okay, make sure when you're out looking for Sebastian, you don't look for anyone with autism, just to clarify things, okay, guys? He may or may not have shoes now. So just keep all that in mind. Don't look for a kid with autism. No autism traits to him. Just an average kid, right? These people. Hold on. It gets a little bit better.
Please don't send it to a tip line. Call FBI, call 911, call your local law enforcement. Tell them that you may have spotted the child and let them do their job. Now, if you are able to snap a picture, snap a picture. If you want us to take a look at it and you don't have direct contact to us, please feel free to reach out to law enforcement. And if you want to, reach out to some of the creators. I'm sure they can get in touch with us. And I will be more than happy to look at the picture. Katie will, and I'm sure Seth will. And we will help you. Like I said, we'll look at the picture and be able to determine very quickly, yay or nay.
Right.
Does he play with his like if he has a sweatshirt on the bottom of it all the time in his hands?
Not.
I don't. What's that called? That
it is.
That's a stigma
fidget.
With autism again,
I'm
Emily.
sorry, I'm just asking if he does.
That's fidgeting.
Okay, there goes the autism part again. Don't be thinking about that, guys. Come on. Y'all, this is for real. This is their conversation today. For real. There goes that autism again. Duh. Keep going. Let's listen a little bit more.
Okay, yeah.
9-1, if Sebastian's playing with something, he finds shiny, by the way, shiny pennies. Not dirty pennies, not the dull pennies, those shiny pennies.
You know, guys, he likes shiny things. Yeah, that kind of thing.
He could spot them like an eagle eye.
Oh, I love that. You know what I noticed when the Texas Roadhouse, which I just went to for the first time ever in my life, and it was fantastic. I couldn't believe how the prices were and everything. The meal was so good. But all I kept thinking about was,
listen here,
the footage. But one thing I noticed is Sebastian and Katie walked exactly alike. And it was amazing to witness how much he clearly bonds with Katie, that he literally walked just like her. And so many people were looking for things to tear apart that they didn't even notice that. It says so much to their relationship that they literally walked like twins.
I know, it's funny.
About
They walk like twins. What? Does that mean Katie could have been the one to take out the trash because Sebastian might not have been there? Because they walk exactly alike? Even Chris agreed to it. Shut the front door. Thank you, grannies watching, for proving a point for all of us. So, yeah, folks, it could have been Katie that took out the trash. After all, she was the one wearing the hoodie jacket, the black hoodie jacket, not Sebastian. Sebastian did not have a hoodie on. Even when he went to bed, he did not have a hoodie on. A little bit reality. I didn't listen to all of it. I just couldn't handle it. But when I heard that part, I had to get it because, let's not look for an autistic child. Nothing mannerism towards autism. A child with black pants and a black long sleeve shirt. We now are going to forget about the white stripe up the side of the pants. He may or may not have shoes on. Did he leave home with shoes or did he not leave home with shoes is my question. And, the whole autism thing, just look for an average child. What the hell do these people think about every single day? Do they sit there and think of ways to screw up this kid's case? Surely this cannot be logical thinking. Now, they assumed by the way he walked, it was Sebastian. But we now have confirmation from Christopher who says, yes, Katie and Sebastian walked just alike. They had on the same types of shoes with the black and the white soles. Could it have been mixed up? I don't know. It just brings more into question here. And why are they going to sit there and say, don't look for a child with autism tendencies? That's going to be what sets him apart. Wouldn't you think? My goodness. Oh, okay. So here we go. We're going to get busy. I had to share that with you. Lord have mercy. It sounded like a bomb just went off outside. That was a pop of thunder. Oh, that scared me. Anyways. So, guys, welcome to everybody that's here. If you heard that, guys, please do not pay them no attention when it comes to looking for Sebastian. He is a young man that does have autism. Those traits that he has due to his autism will set him apart. Seth confirmed last night about what I said yesterday. Oh, okay. So she is related. Oh, gosh. Brown eyes. Oh, my goodness. In this, and the other side made a comment today, and it was actually Granny's Watching that made the comment about it's funny how, it was Chris on her channel that said it's funny how when you start connecting dots, how on the other side, they're all kind of connected somehow or another. No, we're not. That's y'all side. CP said Sebastian is a person. No one should have to deal with him. Oh, gosh. No one should have to deal with Christopher. That's for sure. Ugh. Sharon, I believe they've made a decision with his life for sure. Hi, Sharon Lil. How are you doing? Hope I pronounced the last name correctly there. So Julie and Katie are connected. Julie is related to the Rosenbaums, which is Katie's mother's family. Lord, these people, I'm telling you, it's insane crazy. And when I heard that part, I could not help but to go back and clip it and record it, because no, we're not looking for just an average child. We're not taking away the fact that Sebastian has autism, because this will help identify him. Yes, Kim V, Julie S, Julie Skolnick is related to the Rosenbaums, who is Katie and Yeda's family. I'm not sure how they are, Bobby. I don't know. I know craziness must run in the family. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that was brought out, and then it was clarified. So, oh, I tell you, Diana, same for me. I wake up every day, look at my phone, and just pray that there is something there. Just pray that there's something there. Some good news. We need good news, because all we're getting is stupidness. And guys, I'm going to play this one more time, just for
like Tennessee Terry. It didn't hurt to.
Okay, just for everybody that's coming in new. My conversation started out with Sebastian was the one that supposedly was taking out the trash. However, it was identified by his walk, because it was such a dark figure. They couldn't literally say, yes, that is Sebastian. But because of the way he walked, they assume it was him taking out the trash. And then today, Christopher was on Granny's Watching's panel. And so we have this recorded part that I did. And trust me, folks, it's insane.
Ask if that was Sebastian, and that's all we can do is just remember that this is about Sebastian. He is still out there. These are the ways you can look for him, and to stop prejudging with the autism. We've heard enough from all the parents at this point to stop labeling Sebastian as the missing autistic teenager.
Did everybody get that clear? Everybody understand that now? We're not to relate autism and Sebastian in the same sentence now, okay? That we've had enough of that, according to Granny.
And just look for an average child.
Average, guys, average.
Yeah, I mean, take away all of the, I call the fluff. Take all the fluff away from the situation. You're looking for a child that's 5'5", about 115 pounds, got glasses on, pretty blonde hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing black pants, black long sleeve shirt.
No white stripe on the pants now. Remember that, folks.
Not a sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt. And may or may not have shoes.
Now he may or may not have shoes, okay? Keep that in mind as well.
Has glasses on, quirky smile, freckles on his neck, pigeon chested. That's what you're looking for. Look for that. Don't look for anything else. That's what you're looking for.
Don't look for all those tiny little traits that come along with autism. Okay? Don't look for a kid that might be a little nervous and be playing with his fingers, or maybe playing with his, pants or his shirt, or twisting his hair, twirling his hair. Don't look for those things, okay? That's not average. Here we go.
He's got a beautiful smile. Yeah.
And I ask, please don't send it to a tip line. Call FBI, call 911, call your local law enforcement. Tell them that you may have spotted the child, and let them do their job. Now, if you are able to snap a picture, snap a picture. If you want us to take a look at it and you don't have direct contact to us, please feel free to reach out to law enforcement. And if you want to, reach out to some of the creators. I'm sure they can get in touch with us. And I will be more than happy to look at the picture. Katie will. I'm sure Seth will. And we will help you. Like I said, we'll look at the picture and be able to determine very quickly, yay or nay.
Right.
Okay, let me explain something to you. He assures us they would be able to identify him, yay or nay. Just a reminder to everyone that's listening here today. The boy on Grandfather's Mountain, Seth said, that looks like my son. Katie was on the phone with Chris, talking to Blue Eyes Jewel, who is in our chat, one of our mods. Chris said it's not Sebastian. Katie was crying, saying, please go up there and look, because she lives so close. She said she would go. She said, that's my son. Katie kept repeating, that's my son, please go. Christopher was the only one who said it was not Sebastian. Let's listen some more.
Does he play with his like if he has a sweatshirt on the bottom of it all the time in his hands?
Not.
I don't. What's that called? That
It is
a stigma with autism again.
Stigma with autism again. Let's not get confused. We're not going to put that stigma of autistic onto Sebastian. That's been done enough. These people are insane.
I'm sorry, I'm asking if he does.
That's fidgeting.
Okay, yeah.
9 to 1. If Sebastian's playing with something, he finds shiny. By the way, shiny pennies, not dirty pennies, not the dull pennies. Shiny pennies,
shiny things.
He could spot them like an eagle eye.
Oh, I love that. You know what I noticed when the Texas Roadhouse, which I just went to for the first time ever in my.
Folks, pay real close attention to this part. The trash taken to the road is assumed to be Sebastian because of the way he walked. The person had on dark clothing with a hoodie on. Keep in mind who wore a hoodie that night. Listen close.
Life, and it was fantastic. I couldn't believe how the prices were and everything. The meal was so good, but all I kept thinking about was, poor the footage. But one thing I noticed is Sebastian and Katie walked exactly alike, and it was
what they do. Even Christopher agrees they do. Katie and Sebastian walk alike. So the person who actually was seen hours before this child disappeared at Texas Roadhouse was wearing a black hoodie would be Katie, not Sebastian. When he got home, he still had on the same clothes he had at Texas Roadhouse, I would assume. So would Katie with the black hoodie. So could it have been Katie that took the trash to the road? because she knew how Sebastian walked because they walked so similar.
Amazing to witness how much he clearly bonds with Katie, that he literally walked just like her. And so many people were looking for things to tear apart that they didn't even notice that. It says so much to their relationship that they literally walked like twins.
I don't know if
About in situations like this, people stop judging a video, stop looking at things like that, and just focus on what you're looking at. You're looking at a mother and a son having dinner.
Right.
Stop judging the video. So don't look at how they walk just alike. Let's just go on to other things, right? Let's just skip past that part. That part's not irrelevant. Stop judging the videos. I had to play that part because at no time in the 15 months this child has been missing, excuse me, is it okay to stop thinking of him as an autistic young man? That is who Sebastian is. That is who he is. They're not going to ever take that away from him. He will have that part of him for the rest of his life. But folks, just look for an average teenager. If that right there doesn't tell everyone and speak volumes that they want no one to find Sebastian. If people can't see that, they need help. The girl on panel asked about the playing with the shirt, the end of his shirt or whatever. Oh, that's a stigmatism. It's been overdone. Folks, these people are not here to find Sebastian. If they were, they would have never, ever said, take away the autism. Just look for an average child. I hate to say it, but even average kids have their little quirks. Even average kids have their walks. There is no such thing as a plain Jane child that other children are identical to. With or without autism, it doesn't matter. All kids are different. But these idiots, and that's what I'm going to call them, is idiots, because you can't take the autism away from him. And I don't give a damn how many times it's been talked about. It is part of who he is. Sorry, but that really got me today when I heard that. I could not believe what I was hearing. Anyways, in my mind, it is very possible that it was Katie that took out the trash. Even Christopher himself agreed that Sebastian and Katie walked alike. Katie was the one that had on a hoodie. Sebastian never did, not even when he put his clothes on for bed, remember? It was just a long sleeve t-shirt. Just a long sleeve t-shirt. He had on a short sleeve t-shirt at Texas Roadhouse. He put on a long sleeve t-shirt for bed. At no time did he have a hoodie on. So yes, in my mind, it very well could have possibly, allegedly, in my opinion, been Katie that took out the trash and acted as if she was Sebastian. Now, that will play into what we're fixing to get into. I'm going to play some videos from a year ago. This will be JLR, and he made us stop and talk to some people. And let's see, here we go. Let's listen to this.
Everyone reporting from Jackson, Tennessee. Come on in, everyone. We're going to talk about the Sebastian Rogers case. Boots on the ground. Sebastian Rogers is still missing. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15-year-old boy with autism. Hendersonville, Tennessee, Sumner County. The mother of Sebastian, Katie Proudfoot, and the stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot, reported Sebastian missing during the early morning hours of February 26, 2024. I am at the Speedway in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to show you right here. There's a sign right here. Just kind of show you the area and describe what's going on. Because we received the tip the last time I was here. It's right here, all beginning of 412 and 70. I-40 is right over there. This is a speedway right off of I-40 in Jackson. It is exit 87. It is exit 87. So I want to talk about this speedway here and what is going on. So what went down? Last time we were here, when we were here last time, out here, boots on the ground, 2 weeks ago, it was pouring down rain out here, by the way. We received a tip from an individual, right? They left a tip on JLR Investigates. I'm going to read you the tip. And what this individual is claiming is during the early morning hours of February 26th, saw a dark pickup truck here at the speedway here, and they think it was Sebastian in the front seat of the truck. And they listed a time and gave some details to us, right? So we're like, whoa. Because the timing really does make sense, considering at the time, 2 weeks ago, we were hearing a lot about those flashlights and during the early morning hours, and the time made a lot of sense. We definitely forwarded that information to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and they responded and said, received, thank you. So after we did that, the last time we were here, we actually went here, and we went in. We went a day later. We went a day later after giving law enforcement the tip, right? We came here, parked, went in, and asked authority, or asked the the manager there and whoever was working there if they knew anything about this. Has authorities come and review any surveillance footage or anything? Do you know anything about Sebastian being here? They knew nothing. So we're like, okay. Well, maybe it takes law enforcement time to go through all the tips they're getting, because they get so many tips when it comes to these cases. You guys know that sometimes with these big cases, they receive thousands and thousands of tips, and it just takes them a while to go through. Well, just came here again today, just went in there before I did this live, and asked the employees there, have authorities coming in here in reference to Sebastian Rogers or reviewed any of footage or surveillance, and they said no. So authorities might not even be entertaining this tip at all. But I want to read and give you some information about what this person said. We were corresponding with this individual, and it does make a lot of sense, considering that Sebastian is still missing and no trace of Sebastian from the home there, right? So this person, I'm going to read you this email. I'm going to read you contents of the email, and I was responding back and forth with this individual, right? I believe them. They say they got receipts that they've been here. They also said they themselves have sent the tip into TBI or the authorities. This is what this individual said to me. I'm going to read this. I tried to tell law enforcement a couple days after the Rogers boy went missing, but no one called back. We was coming back from Mississippi on the 26th around 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and we stopped off at the gas station. Hi. How are you? Give me 1 second. Hold on, I'll be right back. Somebody wants to talk. I'll be right back.
JLR always gets people to talk, doesn't he? He always seems to find people that wants to talk to him.
All right, got some new information. She says, got some new information. Apparently, they might be looking into this. They might be looking into this tip. But let me go back to what I was sharing with you guys. Maybe they're looking into this. Okay? Maybe they're looking into this. So let me continue. The 26th, 5:30 in the morning, we stopped up gas off of a gas station in Jackson, Tennessee, and went inside to pay. When I came out, there was a big truck. I believe it was a black or dark blue. And there was a young man in the passenger seat that looked a lot like this young boy that is missing. So someone needs to go to the gas station and to pull the video. We was at pump number 8. So it will be the pump next to us on the left. I send you over everything if you like. So response to this email. I do believe he was wearing dark glasses. I want to say they was in dark in color. Give me a minute and I will send you the gas station information. It's right off of I-40. And if I remember correctly, he looked like he was sleeping. Like I said, I can't 100% swear it was him, but he did look like him. Exit 87 Speedway, and my bank record said the time was 5:48 a.m. on the 26th. 5:48 a.m. He was in the front seat, and he was somewhat laying back. I know he was moving because he moved his head. Like I said, I don't know if it was him or not, but it did look like him. I know it was a 3/4 ton Chevy truck, I do believe, and it was a newer model truck. I want to say it was a black or dark blue. We did look, but the camera wasn't on. But yes, the truck was parked at the gas pump. The more I close my eyes and try to think and remember, it really did look like him. But if someone would have to put my hand on it. Her grammar's pretty bad, but not faulting her at all. I really wish it could help more. I really hope someone finds that baby. We have family members that their kids have autism, and I just can't imagine. What gets me, the mother is not out like the father looking for this baby. That right there tells everyone the story. If one of my kids came up gone, I wouldn't stop till I found them. I really wish I could have seen the person that was driving, but I bet the store cameras will. Now that's very interesting, folks, whether she's telling the truth or it could just be some boy with glasses on that she saw. What I find so interesting about her timing, what I find so interesting about the timing to this is the distance from the Hendersonville home where Sebastian was reported missing. In this location is 2 hours and 5 minutes on Interstate 40 right here. 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Folks, keep in mind the flashlight video was at 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time whatever happened had to happen and them get out of there. Mr. Chris to get in his truck, the timing would be perfect almost.
Now you have 2 hours and 5 minutes. She's saying 5:48 a.m. Well, let's reverse that. Now you're talking in the time around 3:30 if Sebastian was taken from that Hendersonville home. Now, you know that we've been following this case and we still don't know much about those lights. We don't know about those lights that were outside at 3 a.m., those flashlights. But could it be possible? Could it be possible, folks, that Sebastian was put in a vehicle and taken this way? Chris Proudfoot worked a little bit farther to the west of here in the Memphis area. He worked, and this is the route you would take to go from Proudfoot's home to his home. And not only that, but a lot of people, including Seth Rogers, were talking about searches along Highway 412. This is where Highway 412, and it goes kind of like parallel. Now the people just came out and told me we have no comment about this. We have no comment about this. So maybe there is something to it. I said, cool. So maybe there is something to it. Maybe there's not. Maybe authorities came, maybe they not. But you would think, ladies and gentlemen, they would at least look into this. We sent the tip. The person claims they sent the tip. We received a response by authorities saying we received. They received it. So here it is, this area. Could Sebastian, Wayne Drake Rogers, could he have been brought farther west from his home? Or is this just a misidentification? You know, a lot of times also in these cases, you always have false hits and misidentifications. And, you know, everyone out there with glasses and a teenager kid could be Sebastian. I've personally seen it in the groups, people posting people that are not Sebastian saying, hey, I saw this person in Mississippi. Hey, I saw this person in Alabama. I saw this person. And it kind of looks like Sebastian, but we know it's not Sebastian. So this person that saw this at the speed could have been totally not Sebastian. Could have been totally somebody else. But what I'm wondering is if authorities actually looked into this lead and if Sebastian is missing. He's, you know, that came this way. Missing. This way. Was he brought inside a vehicle? That's what I'm trying to say. Was he put inside a vehicle? Chris Proudfoot is yet to take an alibi. You know, on this channel, we have been putting the heat on the Proudfoots based off their own behaviors, based off how they're.
Okay, guys, we're going to stop it there. Of course, this was early on when they first, you know, Sebastian first went missing and JLR was really into it. He kind of switched up a little bit, but he's always held to the one thing that Katie holds the key. Timing wise, I think it's very, very doable. The amount of time to drive from the Proudfoot's home to that station would be right on target. Boom. From there to his work, I would have to go back and rework that to see exactly timing, but it is close enough. It is close enough that hopefully it was looked into. Now we're going to go to about, I think it was, I want to say 9 months ago, and Silver's on the Scene is going to talk to us as well. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this.
So I was on the scene, and I am currently in Memphis, and I'm headed to Hendersonville. That 3 hour, 37-minute from doorstep to doorstep drive, I'm probably going to do it in 3 hours. It's 240 miles. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's click on it. Go. And it says 208 miles. So I'm a little bit outside of Memphis. I guess 32 miles or so east already from the St. Jude or the Yogi Bear. But so anyway, I'm going to make my way over there, and more to come when I get there. Maybe some stuff along the way. Maybe stop off in Jackson and see if
Jackson.
he might have been there in the early morning hours of the 26th. You know, I'm thinking maybe he was actually there the early morning hours of the 27th. And that could be where people are getting confused, because then he wouldn't need to get to work. More to come. Silver's on the scene. Silver's on the scene. And I just stopped off at the Speedway.
Folks, just so you know, this is the exact same place that's we just watched JLR at. And so this is Silvers on the scene, giving us his take and what he's heard.
This is off I-40, east and west, going to Memphis, from Memphis to Hendersonville, from Hendersonville to Memphis. And this is the gas station supposedly where someone saw a black truck in the wee morning hours of the 26th and appeared to be a teenage boy asleep in the passenger side.
Folks, take note. Mr. Chris's truck is a Chevy, dark colored, 20,000 model, 2021. So keep that in mind.
This one I'm not 100% about. Some say that was wrong. They checked the footage and it was not that. It was a different color truck. It was them. But then I'm starting to think, as I'm standing here now, maybe it was 2 days later. We know CP left on the 27th, 17 hours missing. Maybe it was the early morning hours of either the 27th or the 28th. And, you know, the tape was off.
Okay, guys, just think about this now. They're saying the date was off. Do you recall Christopher going the very next day to get his camper? Could he have had Sebastian with him at that time? Is it possible? Anything's possible right now.
Off. But here's what it is, just to give you an idea of the lay of the land. There's a lot of woods around. But I'm gonna walk up here and you can see the cars going. I'll zoom in. See the cars going on the freeway down there? That's the I-40. Boom, there goes one. And there's some cars back and forth. So you get off the freeway right there. You see the sign, Junction 40. And if you turn right or left, I mean, here's the thing about this gas station. I want to make a point. This just hit me in the head too. Like, why would you come here versus the Loves or somewhere, the Circle K over there? Well, let me tell you something. There's activity going on there. More people closer to the freeway. Look around. Nothing on that side. This place would be low. This place would be low key. So, like I said, maybe
he makes a very good point there. This place is not in a very heavy scene place. It's away from the interstate. And if they were trying to be as conspicuous as possible, this would be the one to go to if you needed gas, not the one that's right there at the interstate where it's quick and it's handy, because everybody else thinks it's quick and handy right there.
Maybe Christopher Proudfoot came here on the early morning hours of the 28th, maybe even the 27th, and maybe Sebastian was in the car with him. He keeps saying we. Maybe we was him. So just a thought to add to the theory there. More to come on my way to Hendersonville. Once again, this is exit 87, Highway 40. So I just pulled out of that.
Okay, guys. Wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm going to read some stuff to you real quick. And these are something you're going to be seeing pretty soon on this next case on February 25th, 2024. This is Sunday, the 25th. A vehicle matching the description of Katie Proudfoot's car was observed at the BP gas station located at 593 New Shackle Island Road. While there, and I'm going to pull this up for you. I think I got it here. Hang on. Let me make sure I got it for here. Yes. We're fixing to see this video play out, but it's hard to read sometimes, so I've got it screenshotted for you. While there, another vehicle believed to be a dark-colored, mid-sized SUV parked beside her. The occupants of the two vehicles were seen communicating. A white male exited the SUV who was considered a potential person of interest in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. This individual is described as approximately 35 to 40 years old, 5'10" to 6 foot tall, with a medium build, dark hair. He was wearing a gray or dark colored hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. Okay, let's go here. BP Convenience Store, 593 Shackle Island, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Says, were you here on February 25th, 2024? And then it's going to say KP left the Texas Roadhouse parking lot at 6:37 p.m. The BP location is 7 minutes away from the Texas Roadhouse. ETA arrival could have been 6:44 p.m. If the time spent at BP was even 3 minutes for Sebastian to exchange vehicles, KP could have left the BP at 6:47 p.m. It's an 8-minute drive from BP to Stafford Court, which then could have been an estimated time of arrival home of 6:55 p.m., which still would allow 5 minutes to spare for them to be home by 7 p.m. Next, you're going to see this. The phone in his hand. Could this phone hold the key? Okay, guys. Possible. Here we go. And I'm going to make this large screen so you can see what I was just reading. Let me get right here. Now you're going to see all of this. This says Sebastian Rogers, a resident of Hendersonville, Tennessee, has been reported missing under concerning circumstances. Last seen on February 26, 2024, around his home in Hendersonville. Sebastian's disappearance has left his family and the community deeply worried. He is described as 15 years old, 5'6", 120 pounds, dirty blonde brown hair, last seen wearing sweatpants and a black shirt. Authorities have been actively investigating this case, including reviewing surveillance footage from the public. Sebastian's family has urged anyone with knowledge of his whereabouts or details related to his appearance forward. The Phantom Intelligence Agency has set up a dedicated tip line to assist in gathering information critical to locating him. Station beside a dark colored SUV. They communicated. Who did Katie stop and talk to? Folks, just to make it clear, this is not the exact same gas station that Silvers and JLR were at. This is in Hendersonville on the route to their home. At the bottom, you'll see home by 7 p.m. for the trash duty, 15 minutes later. Never say never. Is this the phone that Katie texted with Sebastian's picture? We've seen that before. And right now, I'm starting to think yes.
And we went home straight from Texas Roadhouse. And we were home for approximately 15 minutes before he took the trash out. And he is on video, and the FBI was able to confirm that it's him.
How did they confirm it was him? Katie, you were the one wearing the black hoodie. Sebastian never at one time, you told us, never did you ever say he was wearing a black hoodie. But you were, Katie. Special thanks to JLR, Silvers on the Scene, and to Hindsight 2020 or 2002. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Hello, hello. Hey guys, if y'all can hear me, say yes. Can y'all hear me? Can anybody hear me now? Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. I don't know why he's stuck on camera. I have exited out completely. Let me see. We are under a tornado watch and can y'all hear me now? I don't know. He's still on the screen. I left the studio and came back in. Can you hear? Hello, hello. Okay, good deal. I don't know why he's still stuck up there, but anyways. So yes, we heard Chris and Granny's watching talking about how there has been too much of the autism talked about. Wow, discussing Sebastian Rogers. Too much of it. Just think of him as a normal kid, right? Just average. They want you to forget about his little quirks that he might have, such as walking on his tiptoes, not liking loud sounds, getting nervous. You saw him at Texas Roadhouse fidgeting with his fingers, biting his fingernails, that kind of thing. Forget all about that because they don't want him found. That's my opinion on that. Because those are the things that are going to help identify Sebastian. Then we heard from JLR and Silvers on the Scene about a possible sighting of a young man in a truck that looked to be asleep at 5:30 in the morning at a station that is on the route to Mr. Chris's work, leaving their area about 3:30 would have put him there about that time. Then we hear they're not sure of the date. So could it have been the next day? Because we know Mr. Chris was going back to Memphis the next day. We heard about Granny and Chris was talking. Once they got home from Texas Roadhouse, Sebastian took out the trash, but Granny said how Sebastian walked like his mother, and Mr. Chris agreed. So hindsight shows us where there is footage from the BP location from Texas Roadhouse to their home on New Shackle Island Road. Do y'all hear that thunder? Lord, that made me jump. She said while they were there, it was a dark colored mid SUV that parked beside her. The occupants of the two vehicles were seen communicating. Katie was speaking with someone that pulled up beside her. A white male exited the SUV. 5'10" to 6 feet tall, ages 35 to 40 years old, medium build, dark hair. He was wearing a gray or dark colored hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. For those of you who remember us going over Texas Roadhouse, I will show you tomorrow again the Mr. Chris lookalike at Texas Roadhouse leaning against the pillar outside, who had a dark type hoodie shirt on and blue jeans. Folks, there are way too many little pieces that would fit. Way too many stories that we have heard about, sightings, possibilities, flashlight videos. You put all these little pieces together, it creates a story in itself. So was Sebastian handed off at the BP gas station that night on the way home? Was he taken away from that gas station that night? Was it Katie that was wearing the black hoodie, the black pants, the one that walked like Sebastian to take out the trash? Were the flashlights at 3 a.m. something that was trying to get out of there? Like, I don't know, cameras maybe? Maybe some of his medication or something he might have needed that they could play off. There's things that needed to be done and taken care of. And we know the cameras were one thing that was taken out of that home because they didn't have them in there, although other people knew they did at one time. So is that what was carried out in the middle of the night? Guys, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened to Sebastian. If I had any idea whatsoever, I would have turned it in and he would have been found, but we don't know. It's these type of stories that we follow, that we look into, that we start piecing them together. I have notes after notes after notes after notes. But when I go back and look through them, I'm like, wait a minute, I got this over here that matches this here. And things start to kind of piece together a little bit to where, is that possible? Is it possible? It is possible, folks. There is no visual of Sebastian making it home that night. The only story we have after Texas Roadhouse is what Katie tells us. And if you put Katie's stories all together, it's not possible to be doing 6 different things at one entire time. But that's what she's given us. If you recall, the day before, on that Sunday, it was a fun-filled day. The day before he was reported missing. Fun fact, she made breakfast. Google it, y'all. Talked about the breakfast, talked about what she made, talked about how he liked to boast, and so they videoed family for him to brag. They went in detailed wise, precise, down to we went and picked up our niece and we met family. We went bowling. We did this. We did that. And then they end up at Texas Roadhouse. And when they get home, the story all muddles together. But I want you to stop and think back at every time you've heard her talk about that day. That morning until Texas Roadhouse. Up to that point, everything remains the same. All of it remains the same. Nothing changes. It's the same story. The only part that changes is when they get home from Texas Roadhouse. That's where the lies begin. Because during the day, all those things happened. That was a truthful story. And the truth never changes. It was only after they got home from Texas Roadhouse that the story had to be created. That morning had to be created. And those are the things that never remain the same. The truth will never change because it is fact. It is what happened. It's easy to remember because you actually went through those exact motions. But when they got home from Texas Roadhouse, everything gets muddled around. The next morning, the whole story in the timeline doesn't match because it didn't actually happen. So it's not natural to remember what didn't happen, but what you're supposed to say happened. Sebastian is gone and his mother holds the key. She knows who played a part in his disappearance. She knows she had the whole day to show how happy and bright and cheerful he was, although everyone who knew Sebastian said that that would be very overstimulating for him all in one day. But we saw him at Texas Roadhouse. We saw the video of a young man, not a small child. Because up until that point, all we had were pictures of a small child, a young Sebastian. That's who people looked for. That's what people were looking out for. Because that's what they gave us. That's what they showed us. That is what they wanted us to see. Because they did not want the teenage Sebastian to be found. I honestly believe that now more than I ever have. They're drowning in their own lies, folks. And the funny part is, Mr. Chris honestly believes that he's fooling everyone by saying he's just an average kid. Look for that. Don't do the details in these videos. Well, Mr. Chris, I'm here to tell you it's those details that are going to get your ass hung up for a long time. Sebastian had no choice in what happened to him that night. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe there were things in play that kept him from remaining in his home and in his bed that night. People were in positions. They had their duties and their responsibilities. Because what happened was going to happen. And the saddest part of all is they carried it out. Completely carried it out. And Sebastian and his father are the ones paying the price for Katie and Chris's plan. And that's my opinion. On the the video I listened to a little bit today with Granny's Watching, she made the comment, someone in her chat said, but law enforcement stated there was no evidence that he ever left the house. And she jumped all over that person for putting that. That is not true. They have never said that. If there is proof out there, send it to me because you're never going to find it. Well, Granny's Watching. I got your evidence. Law enforcement did say there was no evidence that he ever left his house. None. No digital evidence from any of the cameras anywhere in that neighborhood have footage of him. It was a full moon. Parts of that neighborhood lit up. He would have been seen at some point or another. He did not walk out the front door like his mother and his father want us to believe, because that's what they say. I don't know why he walked out that front door. I don't know why he went out that door. He went out that front door, stood on my front porch, and poof, he was gone. No, he didn't, because there's video proving he didn't. There's no scent of him leaving that property. No scent whatsoever of him leaving that property. 18 search dogs found no scent of him leaving that property. So when you hear Mr. Chris tell you that lie, that the dog went from the front door around the side of their house, down along their fence, and straight to the retention pond, he is lying. Because that is not what happened. That comes from law enforcement. There is no scent that Sebastian ever left that property. There is no visual of Sebastian leaving that property. No one opened or closed that front door. No windows in the front of their home was ever opened or shut. The only thing that is out there to be seen are two lights leaving the back of the Proudfoot's home. Two lights moving around that common area, one coming from the Proudfoot's home. The two lights meet up. There's another light off to the side that you can watch that just almost stands guard over everything. So what did they carry out of that home that night to that waiting car? There's so many questions that sit there. We can sit here every single day, connect all of these pieces, but we're not law enforcement. And it's frustrating because we see so much. We see so much. We hear so much. It's absolutely disgusting. The way they play with this child on these other channels, I can't believe it. I'm going to play this again for any of those, because we have gotten a good bit of people come in since we played it at the very beginning. I will play it again for anybody who hasn't heard it. There is a video out that Granny was on today. Granny's Watching was on today with Christopher Proudfoot. I clipped a part of what they said. I'm going to play it for you to hear. I'm going to let it play all the way through. But listen closely how they downplay the autism for Sebastian. Just don't do that no more. Just treat him as an actual normal child. And then listen how they both agree that Katie and Sebastian walk exactly alike. Therefore, it could have been Katie taking out the trash.
Life where he might grow more. And
That's a great point.
so kind of think about that. And also in understanding that medication might have been, and not to go into the
Oh, there we go. I was trying to move it over. Here we go.
Tennessee Terry, it didn't hurt to ask if that was Sebastian. And that's all we can do is just remember that this is about Sebastian. He is still out there. These are the ways you can look for him. And to stop prejudging with the autism. We've heard enough from all the parents at this point to stop labeling Sebastian as the missing autistic teenager and just look for an average child.
Yeah, I mean, it's take away all of the, I call the fluff. Take all the fluff away from the situation. You're looking for a child that's 5'5", about 115 pounds, got glasses on, dirty blonde hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing black pants, black long sleeve shirt, not a sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, and may or may not have shoes. Has glasses on, quirky smile, freckles on his neck, pigeon chested. That's what you're looking for. Look for that. Don't look for anything else. That's what you're looking for.
He's got a beautiful smile.
And I ask, please don't send it to a tip line. Call FBI, call 911, call your local law enforcement. Tell them that you may have spotted the child and let them do their job. Now, if you are able to snap a picture, snap a picture. If you want us to take a look at it and you don't have direct contact to us, please feel free to reach out to law enforcement. And if you want to, reach out to some of the creators. I'm sure they can get in touch with us. And I will be more than happy to look at the picture. Katie will, and I'm sure Seth will. And we will help you. Like I said, we'll look at the picture and be able to determine very quickly, yay or nay.
Right.
Does he play with his like if he has a sweatshirt on the bottom of it all the time in his hands?
Not.
I don't. What's that called? That
it is.
That's a stigma
fidget.
with autism again.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Emily.
asking if he does.
That's fidgeting.
Okay. Yeah.
9 to 1. If Sebastian's playing with something, he finds shiny. By the way, shiny pennies, not dirty pennies, not the dull pennies. Those shiny pennies. He can spot them like an eagle eye.
Oh, I love that. You know what I noticed when the Texas Roadhouse, which I just went to for the first time ever in my life, and it was fantastic. I couldn't believe how the prices were and everything. The meal was so good. But all I kept thinking about was, poor the footage. But one thing I noticed is Sebastian and Katie walked exactly alike. And it was amazing to witness how much he clearly bonds with Katie, that he literally walked just like her. And so many people were looking for things to tear apart that they didn't even notice that. It says so much to their relationship that they literally walked like twins.
I don't know. It's funny.
But in situations like this, people stop judging a video, stop looking at things like that, and just focus on what you're looking at. You're looking at a mother and a son having dinner.
Right.
Take everything else away from it, because we're not investigators. That's for law enforcement to handle. Look at the film, take what you can, and if you see him, like I said, please reach out, call your local law enforcement, whatever. And we're 15 months out, so worldwide, it's not. I'm not even going to say United States anymore. God only knows where Sebastian can be at this point in time.
There you have it, folks. Quit attaching autism to Sebastian. They don't want him found. Anyone that can hear that and to think to themselves that it's right to take away the autism. Don't think about his autism. It takes away who Sebastian really is. And you would not recognize him. That is their goal. And when she started talking about how he walked just like his mother, Chris caught on and immediately changed the subject to stop analyzing the videos. Just take the video as a mother and son having dinner. Don't think about the fact that it could have been Katie who took out the trash because her and Sebastian walk the same. Don't think about that, folks. Just think about a mom and her son having dinner, eating a meal together, their last meal together, and she's so preoccupied with every person around her. She's more preoccupied with her phone and who all is sitting in what spot inside of Texas Roadhouse. Tomorrow, we will be talking about Texas Roadhouse. We will be going over all those players that possibly and what happened to Sebastian. Yes, TJ, they had on identical type of shoes, black with white soles. She's the one. Of course, we're not analyzing it. We're just seeing a mother having dinner, but even looking at her just sitting there having a dinner with her son. She has on a black hoodie. He doesn't. Even the stop at the BP that night where she interacts with another car still gives her time to get home and have the trash taken to the road with her hoodie up. There's so much here, guys. Sebastian's missing, and these people are playing a game with his life. Listening to that audio pisses me off. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old young man who has turned 16 since he went missing, and he has autism. He has those quirks about him. My son is 30-something years old, does not have autism, but I can tell it's him walking from a mile away just because of the way he walks, the way he carries himself. Each and every child is different. It doesn't matter if they have autism or not. They're all uniquely made. But Sebastian does have parts of him that would stand out just a little bit to be able to help identify him. But they don't want to talk about those things. Because when Sebastian gets found, there's no more big numbers over there, and their money's going to go down. Mr. Chris does not want him found because the truth will come out. That's my opinion. At the end of the day, I always say, Katie Proudfoot holds the key to all of it. His mother knows exactly what happened and has yet to tell the truth about what happened when they got home from Texas Roadhouse that night. Did he make it home? Or did he have to get into someone else's car? Did he take out the trash? Or did Katie pull up the hood of her jacket she was wearing and walk on her tiptoes, leaning forward to take the trash out to look like him. It's hard to say what's the truth because we've yet to hear the truth. I do not believe Chris and I do not believe Katie on their story after Texas Roadhouse. Like I said earlier, the events of the day have never changed because those are actual truths that happened. The only thing changing repeatedly is the time they got home from Texas Roadhouse. Their scripted story has become so jumbled, they can't remember what they're really supposed to say. And it's obvious to everybody. So, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate every one of you. I was going to stay and talk some more. I just got an alert showed up on my phone. It is starting to rain harder. And before it gets super bad. And let's say Mosquito says, can you do what court of public opinion thinks as to whether he made it home or not? I will do that tomorrow. I promise. The weather should be better tomorrow, but lightning is really bad out there. Thundering, raining, getting pretty rough out there. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for listening, for having your opinions. Folks, Sebastian is still out there. He is somewhere. Whether he is still with us or no longer with us, he's out there somewhere. He needs to be found. The truth needs to be heard. And join me tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to talk about Texas Roadhouse and we're going to go over the footage. We're going to see players in play that could potentially be part of Sebastian's story. Everybody be safe. If this storm is heading your way, it is rough, rough, rough. And with that, I'm going to say sorry to end so soon, but I better get off of here. I love you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And always remember, Sebastian is the reason we're here. Sebastian is our goal. Don't worry about these idiots who want to tell you not to talk about his autism. That is part of who he is. And we will continue to talk about it. So till tomorrow, guys. Love and hugs. See y'all.